Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. Once again, this is Jabin Ahmad Khajam, teacher, MS Naidpura, Zone Kaimu, District Kulgam, with another presentation for students of class 7th, subject mathematics, and the topic is basic concepts of lines and angles. Let us start the topic and try to know the basic concepts regarding the topic. Dear students, let us know what is a point. A point in geometry is a location. It has no size, that is no width, no length, and no depth. A point is shown by a dot. Here this is a point and is shown by the dot. After this, we should understand what is a line. A line is straight path of pointers that has no beginning or end. Here, this is a straight line and this is a curved line. Actually, the straight line, on this line there could be or there are a lot of or infinite pointers, we can say infinite pointers on this line, which when we join them and they form a path, straight path. If they form a straight path, then this becomes a straight line. On this curved line there would also be innumerous pointers which when joined, but this is not a straight line, this is a curved line. So a line is defined as a line of pointers that extends infinitely in two directions. It has one dimension, the length, and these are two kinds of lines, straight line and a curved line. After this, we should try to know what is a line segment. Dear students, a line segment is a part of a line, or we can say a portion of a line that has two endpoints. Here this is the line segment AB with two endpoints A and B. When we have to name a line segment, so we have to write just like this. This is a line segment AB. When we have to name it, we should write AB and put a bar on this that represents a line segment. Similarly, you can also represent different line segments. After this, let us try to understand what is a ray. A ray is a portion of a line which has one endpoint and extends forever in one direction. Here this is a ray PQ with one endpoint P, and at Q it extends infinitely. When we have to represent this ray PQ, we can write this just like this PQ and put an arrow mark on this. This represents a ray. You can also represent different rays just like this. After this, let us know about angles. What is an angle and what are its different types of angles. So we should discuss what an angle is. An angle is formed when two lines meet at a point. That is, here this BC, line BC or ray BC and CA, when these meet at this point they form a corner like this corner. This corner is called an angle. We cannot say a corner or an angle. That is, the meeting point of two lines or two rays is called an angle. In an angle, there are two arms. Here this is arm BC and this is arm CA. And an angle is denoted by symbol this. So when we have to name an angle, we should name it just like we will name this angle BCA or ACB. Why we can not name it as CAB or CBA? Because we should keep in mind one thing, that is, while naming an angle, the vertex should always come in the middle. So here this is angle BCA or ACB. You can name it BCA or ACB. That is point C. That is vertex of the angle should come in the middle. After this, we have vertical adjacent angles. What are adjacent angles? Angles having a common side and a common vertex, and lying on the opposite sides of their common side are called the adjacent angles. Here these angles A, B and C and C, B and D are adjacent angles. Why? Because these angles share common vertex B and common side BC. This is the common side of both the angles, and this point B is the common vertex of both the angles. So when two angles share common vertex and lie share common side are called adjacent angles. Here in this figure, angle ABC and CBD are adjacent angles. After this, we have to look at vertically opposite angles, or we should understand what vertically opposite angles are. Vertically opposite angles are the angles formed opposite each other when two lines intersect. Here these are two lines, these intersect at this point, and four angles have been formed: angle A, angle B, angle C and angle D. These angles have been formed opposite to each other, that is, angle A is opposite to B and angle C is opposite to D. So these are always equal, these vertically opposite angles, that is, angle A is equal to B and angle C is equal to angle D. Now, what is a straight angle? Another type of angle is straight angle. That is the angle produced at the common endpoint of two rays opposite to one another is called a straight angle. Here, dear students, here these are two rays, ray AC and ray CD. These two rays with common endpoint C, and when these form an angle, that is ACD, they form an angle which is so called as straight angle. Straight angle is always equal to 180 degrees. Similarly, there is another type of angle which is called as right angle. In short, we can say that right angle is that angle which measures 90 degrees, or which is equal to 90 degrees. Or we can say, if two adjacent angles standing on the same straight line are equal to one another, then each of two angles is called a right angle. The two sides of right angles are perpendicular to one another. Here in this figure, this angle A, B, C and A, B, D are right angles, that is, they measure to 90 degrees, and these two angles are adjacent, they stand on the same straight line CD. So in short, we can say that a right angle is that angle which is equal to 90 degrees. After this, there is another type of angle, that is acute angle. An acute angle is less than a right angle, or an angle which measures less than 90 degrees is called an acute angle. This angle DCA is a right angle, and this angle BCA is an acute angle, that is less than 90 degrees. So here any angle less than 90 degrees, that is 89, 88, 87 to 0 degrees, these are called acute angles. Any angle less than this 90 degrees, this is called acute angle. After this, there is another type of angle, that is obtuse angle. Obtuse angles are always greater than 90 degrees, or we can say greater than one right angle, but less than two right angles. That is, we have to keep in mind that an obtuse angle is always greater than 90 degree and less than two right angles, that is less than 180 degrees. Here this angle DCA is right angle, that is 90 degree. After 90, 91, 92, 93, 94 till 179, all are obtuse angles. After this, there is another kind of angle, that is reflex angle. Dear students, an angle greater than two right angles but less than four right angles is a reflex angle. What does it mean? This means that an angle which is greater than 180 degree and less than 360 degrees is called a reflex angle. In this figure, angle ACB is a reflex angle. This angle, ACB, or we can say BCA, this is a reflex angle, that is, it is greater than 180 and less than 360 degrees. After this, we have complementary angles. What are complementary angles? If sum of two angles measured in degrees is 90 degrees, that is, then the two angles are called complementary. Then, or we can say, when two angles measure up to 90 degree, they are said to be complementary. In this figure, angle ACB, that is ACB, and angle BCD, BC and D, these are complementary. That is, angle DCA is 90 and BCA is 90 minus x. That is, the measure of two angles should be 90 degree. That is, this measure and this measure should be equal to 90 degrees, or angle, we can say angle ACB plus angle BCD is equal to 90 degrees. When the measure of two angles is equal to 90 degrees, these angles are complementary. After complementary angles, we should know supplementary angles. When two angles measure up to 180 degrees, or we can say when the measure of two angles is 180 degrees, these angles are said to be supplementary. Here in the figure, angle ACB and angle BCD are complementary. That is, this angle and this angle, the measure of these two angles should be 180 degrees. There is another type of angles, that is alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles are created where a transversal crosses two usually parallel lines. Each pair of these angles are inside the parallel lines and on opposite sides of the transversal. Dear students, here these are two parallel lines, this line and this line. This transversal intersects these two parallel lines and four angles have been created: angle A, angle B, angle C and angle D. All these angles have been created inside these parallel lines and are opposite to each other, and these angles are inside the parallel lines and opposite side and are on opposite sides of the transversal. So in this figure, angles A and D are alternate interior angles. Similarly, angle C and angle B are alternate interior angles. Now another type of angle is alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles are created where a transversal crosses two usually parallel lines. Each pair of these angles are outside the parallel lines and on opposite sides of the transversal. Here these two parallel lines and a transversal cuts the two parallel lines, intersects the two parallel lines, and also four angles have been created this time: angle A, angle B, angle C, and angle D. And these are outside the parallel lines. These angles are outside the parallel lines and are on the opposite sides of the transversal. So in this figure, angle A and angle D and angle B and angle C are alternate exterior angles. These are on the exterior of these parallel lines and are on opposite sides of the transversal. So this was something basic regarding the topic lines and angles. Hope you will get some lesson from this presentation, and many thanks for being there. Stay home, stay safe. Khuda Hafiz.